Hello, everybody. Good morning. Gotta tell you, Wicks is earning some points for being early in my book. There we go. What's up, everybody? Good to see ya. Let's get our guest in here so he doesn't think that I forgot him, and make sure that Zoom is working. Let's see. There he is. Oh, man, Wicks got a good background. What's up, man? How are you? I can't hear you. Can you hear us? He looks great, though.
All right.
There we go. Yeah, you sound good, man.
There we go.
I knew you, if you look that good, I knew you would sound really good. I'm just fixing your camera here, man. I want to make you look presentable. Whoop, whoop. There we go. Awesome. Hey, thanks a lot for the time, man. We really appreciate it.
Thank y'all for inviting me. I've been trying to get on for a while, so this works out perfect.
We're old and not as organized as we used to be, and we are both Floridians. So you know how that goes.
Yeah.
And
we're running Florida time here.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Yeah, always.
Yeah. All right. So we won't waste any. Wait, let me fire one thing up real quick, Mr. Van. I forgot one thing. My bad. And then I just got to turn on. You would think that turning on the main recorder would be the first thing I do, but it is not. It is typically the last thing I do.
And Josh, your show in Orlando, it's already sold out, right? Or should we promote it, or just promote the whole tour in general?
Yeah, it's sold out.
Okay.
But I'm planning on coming back to Orlando.
Nice.
Hopefully soon, I guess. So
yeah, well, we can hit the other dates too, because a lot of our guys are the States, so we're more of a Central Florida, less of an Orlando only. So, all right, Mr. Van, would you like to begin?
Yep.
Here we go in 3, 2.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on Twitch and YouTube. Come hang out and join us, and you might actually know the guest that we're going to get to momentarily.
Yeah.
This is a big deal.
On Zoom with us right now to promote his OMGitsWicks and Friends comedy tour all throughout Florida.
Yeah, yes.
We've got Wicks on Zoom. How you doing, dude?
I'm all right. Thank y'all for having me. How y'all doing?
Very good to see you, man. And, this is the CEO of Florida Sketch Comedy.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah, that's the guy. I mean, that is the guy. When other people walk outside and try to give us, those of us as viewers, a little taste of Florida, they're just copying. This is the guy. Hey, how did you start? And I'm going to just maybe to jump in front of it. Were you active on social media pre-pandemic, and were you trying to break into entertainment? How did you even start on TikTok, Instagram?
No, it really wasn't something I was pursuing. I had a podcast back in 2018-ish. My daughter just kind of created this TikTok account, and when they sent everyone in the house, I started watching and learned that you can actually do, sketch comedy on there, because from what I knew, it was Musical.ly. So it was like a dancing app for kids.
Sure. Yeah.
When she brought it to me, I was like, okay, I got a bunch of nieces and nephews. I can kind of just watch whatever they're doing. And like I said, I discovered that I can make sketch comedy. I've always been a fan of sketch comedy. And one day the Florida sun was beating me up, and then there we go.
Yeah. I love it, man. That's killer.
Wicks, when did you start realizing I can make something out of this? This can be a career. What was a turning point?
I mean, I think I'm still realizing that at this point.
Sure.
Every day is a new adventure for me. So, but I think around the end of 2020 is when it started growing. I was getting growing 20,000 followers, a day, or 100,000. It just kind of went by fast. I don't even know how it went. I know I was at 1,000, and then I woke up one day and I was at 100,000, and it just kind of went on from there.
Yeah, and just to give people an idea, and I'm not trying to make you flex your muscles or anything, but what are we sitting at now? What would you be, to give our audience an idea of your reach? Yeah. What is your number? Because you got to know, right? Or is that something maybe you're a little more distant from because you're in the world and you have a big audience?
I'll check every now and again, or people normally tell me.
Gotcha.
Because I'm more focused on the connection and the more the engagement part of it. But I think it's at almost 1.7 million.
Yeah, that's
We're closing in on 1 point, and that's just on TikTok. Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook are whole different stories. So
yeah, gotcha.
So your reach is, I mean, especially I think I saw you post the other day that you had or TikTok sent you some information that said you had 200 million views or some ridiculous number like that.
I think so.
It was.
See, I like that. That's very nonchalant.
Oh, no,
I like that. Yeah,
400 million.
Oh, 400 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, so only 200 million more than
So
what you had quoted, you idiot.
Yeah, when I said 200 million, I was like, oh man, that's stupid. That's way too much.
You know, I mean, I don't want to point this out, but you know, when they insulted Kanye's number, he walked off the set. And that's when he was full Nazi. That's when he was full Nazi. Remember that? They got his number.
Yeah.
He said, that's disrespectful. Wicks should walk right off. We could do the Florida man. Kanye, he just walks right off. He's like, you owe me a pub sub. That's ridiculous.
I mean, I'll take the pub sub, though.
Okay, you got it.
Don't turn down pub sub.
No, never. It's in our blood.
So Wicks are like at this point, I'm sure people recognize you, in public.
Our chat room's doing that right now. Like a lot of our chat room didn't know you were going to be on today because we don't promote things because we're very bad at what we do. And the whole chat room is going crazy. Like, oh, flip phone activate. Like everybody knows they know, shaking my Florida head. Like they know the catchphrases and so like have you had to sit down now that it is serious and now that you've stepped away from the day job? I'm guessing you have. Like, by the way, what was the day job? Can we ask that? What were you doing?
I was in a call center. So I was just in a call center doing customer service, and then like I said, they sent us home to work from home, but before that we had to because it kind of just happened, so they weren't prepared for it. But yeah, I was just at a call center and this just happened. And
what a waste of an entertainer, though, right? Like when you think about it, that's such a microcosm of like you got this guy in a call center that could be putting smiles on people's faces or doing something completely different.
Wicks, I'm curious of your process when you go and you start thinking of a sketch to do. Do you go through multiple and then pick the best one? Do you just put whatever you get together and see if it works? And if it doesn't work, do you take it down? Like, I'm curious with how
serious he is about it.
Like how influencers, especially like sketch comedy on social media, like what's the process of putting up a video?
For me, I kind of so most of mine are like life experiences. So if something happens to me, then I'll be like, okay, this has to be a video because my mind turns everything into a video. I normally record a lot a day. I'll probably record like 4 videos a day. And I'll put out maybe like 2 or 3. And then you never know, down the line, I may feel different about a video that I didn't like. And that's happened before where I made a video I didn't like. And then like a month later, I kind of came by it and I was like, okay, I kind of like it now. And I posted it and it'll go viral. And I'm like, well, so I guess it's all about timing, I guess.
So how do you have your ideas get better with age? Because I noticed that most of the ideas that I sit on, like a little bit down the track, I'll look at that idea, I'll come back to it, I'll be like, that is trash.
It was disgusting.
That happens too.
Yeah, okay, all right. You've got to have people, you've got to have Florida companies just clawing at you, but then also you have to balance the authenticity of you being Wicks and being, who you are, and also not selling out completely. I mean, and that's a weird term that I don't necessarily like because I want you to provide for your family. I think we all do. We're rooting for you. So, how do you balance that?
I normally, and this is something that I've been, struggling with, I guess, for a couple years, because I don't want to turn it to a channel where I'm just, trying to sell everybody everything. And that's kind of been, my thing is not to take as many brand deals. So I turn down way more than I take. I think this year I might have taken like 4, but I probably turned down like 100.
Yeah.
So it's very it has to be something that I can fit into what I do.
Tom's the business side of our partnership.
I'll never turn it down.
You can see he wanted to scream.
Hundreds.
Did you see when you said I've turned down hundreds? His wig, a lot of people don't know he has a wig. His wig rattled just a little bit.
I've been trying to figure out how to promote boner pills for weeks.
Yeah. We have a whole case of boner. This is not kidding. We have a whole case of boner pills under our pinball machine.
I'm like, it's got to work. And then I take some, and then I sit there. I'm like, you take some, Daniel. I'll force Daniel to take some.
He did force me to take some.
I make Tracy take some. I'm like, who knows?
Everybody in our company has to take boner pills. It's a law.
And then one day I'll figure this out. It is a hard balance because your audience, and let's talk about like, you know, because you spoke on engagement and trying to create engagement, and really with social media and I guess influencing and broadcasting, and it's all about engagement, because if your audience isn't engaged at all, and you've seen it in social media before where you have some of these influencers, let's say, and not to disparage them, but like a bikini model or that has 100,000 or hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram, right? But she couldn't sell like 10 T-shirts.
That was a famous girl, yeah. So she had like I think it was almost 1 million followers, and then she was trying to sell some T-shirts. And the funny thing was that her engagement level was so like small, so minuscule, so minimal, because it was really just a one-way street. It was really just she showed how beautiful she looked, and then the people kind of saw how beautiful she looked, and there was no interaction.
Yeah, they didn't know her personality. Yeah.
She wasn't able to sell anything, whereas like what you said, this is why you're successful. I mean, you said it immediately. You're like, I worry about the sketch, and then I worry about like the engagement with the people that follow me, and then cultivating that relationship. You know, that's a big deal, man.
And then that's, even when I first started, more people are focused on the number. Like I'll block people. I block people all the time just to create like a more positive community. So if you're in the comments, anything like that, I'll try to create like this positive community where we can kind of escape all the other crazy, stuff. So I'll block people a lot. So that's why I say I don't really focus on the number.
I like that.
And even with me, talking to the people that support me, I'll get in the comments, or even if I go live, like I'm talking directly to them. And I've had like other influencers tell me not to do it. And I'm like, I'm going to do it my way. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it my way.
Yeah.
And my way is to show appreciation every day to everybody that watches a video or shares it or anything like that. So.
Yeah. Well, that message comes through, man. Like you have a very positive, on rip, just everybody that's mentioned you likes you. And that's definitely a good attribute to have.
Wicks, do you think you have a lot more of an audience in Florida because you're based here, and there's a lot of Florida content in there, jokes about the weather?
That's
and
the
how hot
funny
it is.
thing. He's not based in Florida. He's based in North Carolina.
No.
I was trying to get him.
Yeah.
I wanted the terror. I wanted the terror in his eyes. Did it flutter you just a little bit?
Well, I was just like, who have I been watching?
What is going on?
It's all a lie. No. He's as Florida as it gets.
Yeah. And Southwest Florida is unique. I grew up in Southeast Florida, Miami, and there's a difference between those souths of Florida, the east and
I'm
west
a Central
side.
Florida guy. Like I was born in Gainesville and then grew up in DeLand. So I'm Central Florida. I'm Volusia County. I mean, I'm live. Yeah. I'm on patrol live. You're tasing the fentanyl. That's me.
To be honest, I've lived here longer than I grew up in Miami. It's kind of ridiculous now.
You're pretty much an Orlando guy. Dude. You are.
I spent only my childhood in Miami.
But it's cool that you had that, because he got to get a huge helping of like Cuban freedom fighter, and you got like Spanish friends. So that's Florida too.
Elian Gonzalez driving around, tires are burning. We're screaming free.
I mean, that is Florida, dude. That's what makes Florida truly so unique and awesome.
But so Wicks, do you think you have a lot more of an audience, like per capita or percentage wise, in Florida because of that?
Yeah, and I think it's because I kind of I guess relatable. I'm relatable to Floridians. So most of us have been through these experiences together, the palmetto bugs and, the
hurricanes
and the fire ants. So we kind of deal with it. So if you see something that you can relate to, it's more like, I've dealt with that. But what's crazy is, like, if I look at my top cities, Chicago and New York are in there. So I'm starting to think they may act like they don't like us, but they're kind of watching to see what we do. So that's what that's what I'm going.
Well,
with,
I think they're jealous. I think they'd like to talk. I mean, there is a weirdness about, like, if you look at any like comedian that's known to be an intellectual, the low-hanging fruit is to assassinate everyone that lives in Florida. We're dumb, and we don't like. I can't think of anything else because I'm dumb. but I thought that was a pretty decent joke. I've been sitting on the joke. I thought that was a pretty solid joke. But seriously, it's such low-hanging fruit, and it's not even like, I think Florida is amazing. Second place to me is Georgia. That's like, I'm all about the bottom, the little ding dong of like, I like Florida and Georgia. That is my stuff. Like, I like the people, I like the food. I just boiled peanuts 2 weekends ago.
I love boiled peanuts.
I will make you some, Wicks. I make good boiled peanuts, man. I will make you some.
All right, then we got a deal. Pub sub and boiled peanuts. We got a deal.
Done. What is the hardest part of, Tom and I were talking a little bit about this morning, what's the hardest part of being, or like keeping this as a viable business? Is it trying to come up with something new and give your audience like or work on like a longer form, like a TV show or a pilot? Like, are there other things you try to shoot for now to make this bigger and better?
Yeah, I mean, it's always evolving. So through time, even from when I first started, I don't realize it because I'll just do it. If I notice, the way sketches are filmed, or, I try to get better every day with the way that I, film or edit, or even, lighting or anything. So I'm trying to get better every day. But I am moving towards more so the film aspect. So I've actually written a short film. I guess it's like 20 minutes. And then now I'm working towards a longer film for, we're going to try to start filming next year. Awesome. So it's more so me trying to get into the film aspect. And even the stand-up comedy thing, it's more so me just trying to expand what I already do.
Yeah, and you're working with some of our buddies. You got Mike Herlihy, at least on the Orlando the Orlando appearance. It's Mike Herlihy, Ken Miller. We love both of those guys, and you have multiple appearances all throughout Florida. A couple in Naples I saw. Circling back around to Tampa Improv. I think you're going to be at the Tampa Funny Bone.
If you follow OMGitsWicks, he's promoting it. You'll see all the shows.
Yeah, grab one of the dates before they sell out, because they will sell out. Because especially with Ken and Mike Herlihy on there, I mean, you stack the deck, dude. That's like, you got some big dogs.
So Wicks, like, not to get too much into the business of it, but I'm always curious when I'm talking to influencers and like turning what they have into a business, because there's so many different ways to do it. Like, we did it in one way, but there's really dozens of different business models.
There's ideas that haven't even been thought of yet.
And all depending on your audience. Like, we're friends with Matt Mormon, and we've talked to him a bunch of times, and he's gone the route of he's selling merchandise that he's curated to his audience, and he's developed that into a huge empire where he's got multiple warehouses and shipping facilities, and then other influencers. Then
you got like Adam LZ, who's doing like, he does the car thing with like, sweepstakes that you can win, and like Patreon aspects and stuff like that.
We recently talked to the guy who started Qualified Captain on Instagram. He's going to be like our Labor Day show, but he does primarily merchandise and stuff. So there's lots of different ways to do it, and it's also difficult to scale. And you start bringing in employees and stuff to do things for you, but that's difficult too, because now you're like, all right, if I'm paying an employee, now I have to make X amount of more money a year. Maybe I could do it myself, but it's hard to scale. Have you gone through those growing pains?
I'm kind of still doing it myself right now. Me and my girlfriend, she actually helps a lot.
Nice.
And I have a few of my friends that I kind of like. We kind of did the podcast thing back in the day.
Yeah.
The two of them actually stuck with me through this whole process. So they kind of helped me in the whole process. There's a couple of us. And I got 2 high schoolers. So anything I need on the technical side as far as TikTok or actual social media, those are the experts. High school.
Man. When you got kids, it's like, and if they're willing to do it, holy smokes, that's like endless employees right there, man. And they know it. They got the quick mind.
Well, Wicks, we actually got a meeting tomorrow with a guy just out of college that wants to get into videography
but he's
and social media.
51 years old. Man, this guy's gonna suck. Oh, he's gonna suck so bad.
But you're right, like there's a lot of resource with the younger generation getting out of either high school or college that wants to get into this space that is glad to help other influencers so they can learn too. And it's like there's probably an army of interns that we could all use. We need to get better at that.
Yeah.
It's because
are you asking Wicks if we need to get better at that? We need to get better at that, don't we, Wicks? And Wicks is like, yeah, you do, buddy.
Well, I'm reminding myself. I'm now just talking to myself now. Yeah, because I'm like, Wicks is right.
Wicks was like, yeah, you better get on that.
We need some high schoolers. That's who knows.
Don't say that.
No, we do. We need the young generation to come in here because we're good at broadcasting, but we're horrible at social media.
The horrible part is that nobody listens to broadcasting anymore, so we have no product. We have no product.
So now, Wicks, you're doing these tours. And besides from the movie, anything else on the horizon? You plan on going out of Florida, doing some national stuff? Because you probably have you said you got listeners all over the world, right?
Yeah, it's been growing. So I'll have people. So I'll ask, where should I come or what city should I come to? I've had people all the way in Alaska, which I told them not going to happen. Like, I'm from Southwest Florida, so my blood is very thin. I can't deal with Alaska. Like, I know they got polar bears up there and moose. I don't want to deal with any of that. I'll deal with my gators, but I've had, all over the country, they want me to come. And like I said, I think it's more so their infatuation with Florida and the way that I present Florida to them. It's not just the normal Florida man stuff. It's the actual Florida life. Yeah. So that basically, so they can understand why you get the Florida man. Why you get those stories is because of, things that we grew up with or things that we deal with on a daily basis as far as weather, animals, and everything else.
Just the overall Florida experience. Wicks, thank you so much for the time, man. We really appreciate it. Good luck with the tour. Please say hello to Mike Hurley and our good friend Ken Miller. And this has been such a pleasure, man. Hopefully we get to do it again sometime soon.
Invite me back anytime. I'll come on.
We'll do it, man. Maybe one day we can do something where it's Wicks and Savannah and us.
Yeah.
Because that's our buddy, too. Yeah.
I love Savannah. Savannah is one of my favorite people.
Yeah, she's rad, man. Well, hey, take care of yourself, and we'll do it again, okay?
All right. Thank you. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah, see you, Wicks. Be good, man. What a nice man.
Yeah. No, it's interesting because I know he's been to Moe's bowling tournament a couple times. I haven't met him and got a chance to meet him in person.
He helps Florida. Like, he's a good Floridian. He does and every time I see him, he works, but then he'll also do a lot of charity stuff. To help out, like for kiddos especially. And I like to see. You don't see a lot of that. No offense to I'm sure it's there, but like with influencers, you don't see a lot of people like to put the spotlight on the bad part of influencers, and he's a good one. He's good. He's awesome. He does like a lot of charity stuff.
It's it's fascinating to see these guys build their audience and then figure out how to turn it into a business. Yeah, to me at least,
It's also impressive that he built it by turning down hundreds of partnerships.
Well, I imagine that
gotta protect that brand.
Well, in that world where you have that much exposure because people can find, they're just looking for numbers, right? You probably get inundated with tons of BS.
Probably a blanket email.
Dude, we get, dozens and dozens of spam emails that want to partner with us.
3 a day.
That's all garbage, right?
And I got one this morning.
So he's getting 10 times that, which is just pure garbage of people that want to do these brand partnerships that are just nonsense. Yeah. So that's probably what he's turning down. It's not like a legitimate, hey, like a local company in Florida that wants some exposure, that wants a partner long term. It's like get rich quick, flying orbs that you fly back and forth, and a bunch of garbage.
Can I reveal my true sensitivity to you for a second?
All right.
It really hurt my feelings when he said, I was doing a podcast back in, with my friends back in 2018, and I was like,
I was doing a podcast. I was also doing a podcast in 2018. I'm still doing a podcast. I am currently. I've built a podcast prison that I'm locked in.
We started doing a podcast almost a decade earlier than that.
Excuse me, Wicks. Dan Dennis here. I started doing a podcast in 2009.
Yeah. And then I think of all the mistakes we made throughout the year, like
it was so bad.
We wasted a bunch of money.
He only did it for 3 years.
You know?
He's out. He's millionaire now.
You know how much money we wasted on offices and employees and stuff when Wicks knows you do it by yourself.
Yeah,
you and your girl.
You and your girl.
Make all the money.
Yeah, I'm surprised he even said that.
Anyway.
I'll cut that out so I protect him. I got to protect Wicks.
We will take a quick break. We'll be right back with more corporate time.
All right. He was very nice. That was good.
Yeah.
All right. That is what?
That's Tuesday 1.
Tuesday 1.
And then we'll do Tuesday 2 with Kenny.
He will be here in...
Yeah, probably... Yeah. Probably earlier.
Okay. I can write him a new song. I'll write him a new song. We'll do the thing you like where I write it and then we just see if it works.
What other malls have been in Central Florida?
Altamont,
Yeah, Altamont.
Volusia, Florida, Millennia, Fashion Square, West Oaks. I'm a mall. I can name malls. Seminole Town Center. Thank you, Tracy. Tracy, you're on the board.
So, but out of all those, the ones that shut down, Volusia and Fashion Square are only two of them that shut down, really, right? What other malls gone out of business?
Seminole Town's done. Oviedo's done. Oviedo Mall's done. Volusia Mall's still going.
Okay, Volusia. So, Seminole Town Center.
Seminole
and
Town Center
Fashion
and
Square.
Fashion Square's still going, isn't it? Or did they finally shut it down? Oh, Fushino says some of them are just kind of barely holding on.
West Oaks is
It's still going. Yeah, I think it's still going. The chat room will know if you can see that. They're
Okay.
or you. I don't know.
Oviedo.
If you can see it
Yeah,
closer
Oviedo's
like
still
that.
going. What other? So really, only two, Fashion Square and Seminole Town Center, is the only two that shut down. Oviedo is a borderline flea market, so Oviedo's going to shut down too, right?
It's coming.
But someone told me Altamont Mall. We got a mall segment with the History Center. Altamont Mall, they said was I think Tracy told me that it was still packed. It was like packed with kids.
I've been
and
there recently. Yeah, we took Maisie there to get some Lululemon.
So that looks like it's coming back. And then Florida Mall never really wavered because of the tourist. And Millennium Mall never wavered either, right?
Which one?
Millennia?
Yeah, Millennium's been fine.
You know what I was thinking, though, like, and Crystal brought it up, like, there's a long stretch of 1792, especially, like, north of 436, and, like, even north of Longwood, where there's just, like, dilapidated businesses that were at one time popular, but have, like, fallen to the wayside, and then there's, like, they haven't kept up the grass around them and the landscaping because their business is so slow, you know, then it's kind of like all shitty these businesses, because most people are like, it's been diluted by the internet and stuff, so they're not thriving as much anymore. They're hanging on, but it's not as, they don't keep them up. And I'm sure what they're paying in rent is more than they should, because they're paying to be on 1792, and they don't really need to be nowadays, because if you need that business, your phone will take you to the business. You know, it's like you don't need to drive by it anymore and to see the name. And so they're like paying too much rent to be on a busy street. And I wonder if future developments and like urban planning will have commercial real estate off busy roads in like one area for everybody to go to. Because they're, you know, if you need some store, your phone will take you. You know, I realized that down in Miami when I was looking for a Planet Smoothie, and it was tucked away behind this mall called the Falls, and like it's in this like industrial district, and I was like, wait, this is weird that a Planet Smoothie's back here, but I'm like, well, it doesn't matter, it could be back here because people are just searching Planet Smoothie and just driving to where it is, you know.
Sorry, I'm trying to rate this really fast.
No, it's fine. No. I'm really just talking to Twitch.
What is this? I want to call this jingle. I wrote this as fast. They saw me. I did this all on Twitch. The whole song. Hopefully it works. I feel bad for Kenny. His dog's sick. Pork chop.
He's looking up your skirt, pervert Kenny. He jerks it till it hurts.
Why does
Pervert Kenny. Public masturbation is all that he enjoys. He stretches out his butthole with big old pecker toys. Shouted, Pervert Kenny! He's looking up your skirt. Pervert Kenny. He jerks it till it hurts. Pervert Kenny. Public masturbation is all that he enjoys. He stretches out his butthole with big old pecker toys. Shouted, Pervert Kenny!
It's not supposed to say shouted. See? That's how he got fucked up.
I like to shout it. Like,
Shouted.
I just like his buddy telling the singer to
Shout
shout.
this part, you idiot. Yeah, I think that one works. That's how fast now remember, I don't let AI write the lyrics because it tries stuff that just doesn't work for songs.
Yeah.
It tries to. The human mind is pretty simple when it comes to.
He's looking up your skirt, Pervert Kenny. He jerks it till it hurts, Pervert Kenny. Public masturbation is all that he enjoys. He stretches out his butthole with big old pecker toys, Pervert Kenny. He's looking up your skirt, Pervert Kenny. He jerks it till it hurts, Pervert Kenny. Public masturbation is all that he enjoys. He stretches out his butthole with big old pecker toys, Pervert Kenny.
That's it. That's the one. That's the one right there. That's the one right there. All right, print it. Pay this man, Tom. That'd be like $500, right? We have $500.
At least 100.
At least 100.
Yeah.
No less than 50 to just walk out. If somebody said, I'll give you 25, no, it's worth way more than $25.
Yeah. That's, how much is that program a month?
Well, I've gotten so good at it now that I could back down my membership because I know how to do it.
Okay.
Before, when I wasn't as good and it wasn't as good, I don't know if they know that. The better you make it, the less credits you use. So it eats itself because it gets more refined and better.
Okay, all right.
And if I know how to use the prompts, then I don't waste as many credits. Like right now, I have a surplus of 5,455 credits. And each time I do that, it's like 8 credits.
So, but just around about a monthly fee, what does it cost?
Maybe $7?
Okay, all right.
$12, I think.
Okay.
I think it's 12.
So the most, let's say $20.
But I think I backed it down to 8.
Okay.
Because I don't need as much now because I have a surplus. I have 5,004. Like, and sometimes different things do different things. Like sometimes if they do it wrong, like they'll give you a credit. They'll be like, well, we didn't like this. We don't think we did you right, so we'll give you a credit for that one. I get a lot of those. I get a lot of credits.
It's very hard for me to watch my son even do his homework. Like, because now in middle school, he's got like a lot of homework, and that's been rough for him to transition, because he's not used to that much. And
they probably, I heard they pile it on.
And because you got 7 different classes, you know, so it's like, but he's doing this homework, and I'm watching him do it, and I'm just like, man, all this stuff is, but then I have to reframe my thought. I'm like, I guess it's just about the act of doing work for no reason.
He needs to do hard stuff.
You do this,
like you said it yourself. You're like, it's hard stuff. So just the act of doing the hard stuff, because if you were like, stop doing that, that's not worth your time, then what are you teaching him? You're teaching him that only do the stuff that's worth your time. Well, how do you decide that?
I don't even know what now you need to learn. I honestly just want to be like, man,
just how to work hard.
I just feel like, you usually learn how to work hard.
Just generic hard work. I don't even know how to teach that, but
no, that's the thing. That is like, is this
maybe it's easier than ever though?
Would this be better if you worked hard learning to prompt AI right now? Like, would that do you better?
No, because that's going to change too, and he's too young. It's just be okay with difficult shit. I think.
Well, it's not even the hard. Like, he understands it. It's just it's the time, I guess, waste of like here, right? All this stuff.
You already made a negative.
Yeah.
Why is it a time waste?
Just because all this information it doesn't do you any good knowing it, I guess.
But being able to access it, absolutely.
Yeah. Well,
you're putting too much weight in. Like, you have this phone, you don't need to learn everything because you can just go to the phone and find it. But finding it is the part that he learns in school.
Well, they're not. They're not teaching him how to search. And find
through repetition of doing it. So you're looking at the question, and the answer is like a direct answer. It's not a direct answer. It's a broad answer of the repetition of school, and being around that idea is critical thinking and teaching you how to solve your problems.
I guess
that's what I think. That's my opinion.
I saw this guy. This guy is in my algorithm just talking shit about school, and he's like. He's just talking about like the education system is turned into like you just memorize stuff for tests, and then you just they need you to pass tests.
But that's not the case. It's different educator to educator. It can be the case.
Yeah.
But it's not just memorizing stuff. That's not the experience that I have.
Yeah. And I just
look, if you hate school and you think it's going to be a negative experience, it will be. And if you like school and think it's going to be a positive experience, it will be. It's a mind frame.
Yeah. No, I'm just wondering if it's like at this point in time where it's so antiquated because we're looking at this AI do everything, and we're like, man, is everything they're learning now just kind of pointless because we have this super intelligence? I saw some guy say that every kid born right now will never be as smart as AI is. So all we're going to do is learn to work with machines as a tool to advance civilization or whatever, but we're always going to be working with a machine.
But what's funny about that is it's not the end all be all ticket to intelligence, because the majority of my friends don't know how to use it and don't use it. I'm one of one. Like, I know one person in my group of friends that even touches or uses AI, and it's me.
Yeah. Well, now, but I'm talking about the kids born now, like the young kids generation. It'll be a tool.
Oh, yeah. Well, it already should be, right? Like, people are already kind of doing that now.
Yeah. So it's just, Emma, like, I just hate, like, I don't know if things are a waste of time, or you focus on some other way of learning, or if just focus on just being a good person and like being a kind person.
Important.
But then it's like
you put a lot of emphasis though on time wasting, and that how do you even decide what is wasting? You know what I mean? Like, you can't.
Well, I guess if it's benefiting you, then it's not a waste.
Right. Like, I mean, there are things that I do that I'm like, God, this is a waste, but it's not. It's not a waste. It's not fun. It's not good, but the process of it is teaching me something, or the muscle memory of doing it again for the 400th time has taught me to, like, editing, like here is so, I hate it so much, but I'm so good at it in the background now because at one time I loved it. So now I don't even think about it because I've done it, I don't even know if you could put a price on that, right? The price of repetition for me editing I can do it in my sleep.
So what if in like a year some AI comes out that edits the whole show?
It won't. Not like I do it.
What if it can?
It won't.
I mean,
I can be you on this one. There's no way that.
What if you put in past shows, you load in past shows, and you're like, hey, mimic this, and then just does it?
Oh, if it gets close, I'll use it as a tool. I already do. I use it for the notes. That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I use it for our show notes. I just did it this morning. So I use it as a tool to make things faster, I guess.
Yeah.
What's up, Kitty?
If it gets to the point where we're
not recording, we're just bullshitting online.
It's kind of like learning how to cut and.
But see, you need to know how to do it. I feel like you're not gonna just walk in and be like to AI and you feed in the audio and be like, here, edit this the way I want it. It's not going to work like that. You need to know AI. It's not just a blank screen that you talk to and it just starts doing shit.
Yeah, and you need to know how to prompt
That's good. We're way far away from that. So
Yeah,
you still need to know the process, I think, to even understand what you're going to tell AI to do.
Yeah.
That's sometimes what I do for Photoshop using AI is you have to know what to use. Like, okay, make a different layer. Like, you speak in the language of Photoshop to AI. That means you still need to know Photoshop. Is my point.
Okay, yeah. You need to know the actual, like,
the steps. Yeah, right.
Okay.
That's kind of what I'm real bad at explaining things. Hey, buddy, how are you?
You should get AI to explain how AI works. That way you don't have to worry about it.
I'm sure is that like the first thing that everyone has asked? Like AI? Like, how do you work? What do you do? Might be. How's your puppy?
He's good. He's just peeing everywhere.
Okay, yeah.
Just peeing
Well, I've been thinking about you, man.
Why'd you get a puppy, Kitty?
No. It's his longtime companion.
He's 14 years old.
Yeah, he's an older buddy.
Yeah, he's got an enlarged adrenal gland, which I don't really know what that is, but it's causing him just to piss everywhere.
Okay. Yeah.
I have
he's
an
on
enlarged
medicine for
adrenal gland, and I'm pissing right now. Would you like to start, Tom?
Yeah.
I'm going to do the thing where you raise it way high up just to bring it down.
Yeah, still haven't fixed that. It's on my list. It's not. It's never been on my list. Okay. Hey, you fixed it. Look at that. Would you like to start, Kenny?
Sure.
I'm kidding. I'm joking.
I'll totally do it. I've listened long
I
enough.
know you will. All right, T. Here we go. 3, 2.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time. We got Kenny Sampson in studio. How you
Hey-o.
doing, Kenny?
Hey, let's start with this right here.
He's looking up your skirt, pervert Kenny. He jerks it till it hurts, pervert Kenny. Public masturbation is all that he enjoys. He stretches out his butthole with big old pecker toys, pervert Kenny.
There you go.
It makes me miss the Funkadelic one. That you did
Okay,
last
I'll
week.
bring that back next time. But for today, you get a ragtime pecker song. There you go. Good to see you, buddy.
Till it hurts? Like, who does that?
I don't know.
I
had to rhyme something with whatever the other word was. I did that one actively. I composed that on Twitch. You can go back and see the behind the scenes if you'd like of the 2 minutes. The 2 minutes it took me to compose that.
Hey, we have this tall gay clown coming in. I'm gonna come up with a song.
Oh yeah, I did call you a tall gay clown one time.
I know.
Till it
was the lyrics of the last song.
That's right.
Till it hurts is a good point to stop, though. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, like, hey, when should I stop? Till it hurts.
Yeah.
That's
No, hold on a second. The reggae band Inner Circle said,
push it.
and if you cry out, I'm going to push it some more. So that guy, he is a rapist.
Yeah.
And I think we've said this before. And Benny Mardones. Okay.
So
Welcome.
apparently dogs will do things even beyond the point of pain, which is that's one of the things it's like how do you kill a wolf with a blood popsicle? And what you do is you take a knife, you dip it in blood, and you freeze it. And I'm talking about like Arctic wolves or whatever. And the wolves will start licking the blood because they enjoy it, but then they'll end up cutting their tongue on the knife, but they'll confuse their own blood with the blood that they're licking and eventually will bleed out to death.
What What are you, an Asian shaman?
That's how you kill
That
an
sounds
Arctic wolf.
Steven Seagal. Like, do you know how to kill a wolf? You make a blood popsicle. You dip the blood. You dip the knife in blood,
We're
and then
talking
you
about,
freeze
like-
it. Then the wolf will lick it, and then cut his tongue on the blade, confusing his own blood with the blood on the knife, and then he will lick himself to death. So it be said.
If we're talking about pushing past the point of pleasure, that's what wolves do.
Wow. I've never heard that before, Kenny. That was really, really
There you
interesting.
go. So for any of you who need to kill an Arctic wolf,
Yeah, there you go.
Slowly. So what have you been up to, Kenny?
Yeah, what's going on, buddy?
I was in Atlanta, and have you guys ever been in a Waymo, those the automatic driving cars, for like rideshare purposes?
I've had a guest on our show that's way more interesting.
I've been in Daniel's car and watched it, drive itself.
I'm
so.
told Waymo's better.
So
I'm told Waymo is better than Tesla when it comes to full self-driving.
For this one, it's a rideshare, and it won't unlock until you and your app are near it. And when you get there, you sit in the back just like a normal rideshare, but there's no driver in front of you. But you have a touchscreen, so you can control the AC, the music, everything. And it says, hey, it'll drive you to your destination. The problem is there's still a lot to be learned. So it will go from point A to point B, but wanting to avoid any construction, any like whatever. So I just needed to go to a bar like 5 minutes away from where my hotel was.
Your hands were shaking, right?
But it was taking a 20-minute route to get there because the direct route technically had some construction going on,
Yeah.
and this car wouldn't do it.
And your Suboxone wasn't kicking in, so
Yeah.
you're freaking out.
Yep. So but what sucks is you're almost trapped prisoner. Like it won't let you out if you're at if it deems that you're not at a safe place, even though it might be at a stop sign or something, and you want to be let out, it'll be like, nope, cannot do that.
Wait a
And
minute,
then-
is Waymo racist? Does it go through certain areas and it's like, we're not unlocking the door?
Don't
Yeah.
don't get out here.
I wouldn't be
I
surprised.
can't tell what you are,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
not.
Yeah. I see a shadowy figure.
So here's the problem though,
Racist
because
Waymo.
it only uses sensors and it doesn't use common sense. So we went down
Sensors, not sense.
we went down a residential area, and on the side of the road, it recognizes when there are parked cars, and it recognizes them as cars, and it'll keep driving. However, one of the cars on the side of the road had one of the car covers on it. So it was just like a giant canvas, and it stopped, and it couldn't figure out what it was because it didn't register as a car.
covered in cloth.
It didn't even recognize it as a car. I think it thought it was just like a person or something because it thought it was clothes, and it just refused to move. So I just sat there in the car with it not moving, and it was like recalculating. So it would back up just to drive forward again and stop at the exact same spot. And then it would back up, and it took a different route, a full circle, just to end up on the exact same road again to encounter the exact same covered car. And so it got to a point where I actually had to call customer service. Like that's one of the options on the little touchscreen. And the customer service essentially had to remote control into the car and manually override drive it past the obstacle. So that's
really pretty cool. I didn't know that they had a Waymo headquarters where somebody can
remotely drive the car past the
Yeah.
Now that sounds like a giant pain in the ass, and obviously
It very much was, because again, this place was 5 minutes away, and it took me 20 to 25 minutes to get there, especially having to encounter a parked car 3 different times.
Yeah.
The problem is that we're trying to incorporate the self-driving amongst 99.9% of human drivers.
People don't want it. People don't like it. I get told every time I mention it to somebody how much I like it. I've never encountered somebody who was like, yeah, man, I'm with you. Not even one. Not one. Most people are like our good friend, Amy LaCours, was just on the show. I told her about it. I'm like, hey, you want to drive him? I'll take you around the block. No, she's like, no way. Nope, not doing it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
fair.
well,
I understand.
Well, that's what people said about integrating races in schools. when
It's
it first
exactly
happened.
like that. It's exactly like that.
And guess what?
It's exactly
it's
like
happening.
that, yeah.
And then, but the old timers, the people that didn't grow up with this technology, are gonna reject it.
Although they never hosed electric cars with fire hoses,
Yeah, that's
pushing
true.
them out of a school.
But
it wouldn't wouldn't do much.
The younger generation's gonna adopt this because we know already they don't want to drive.
Maisie loves it.
And and she's already exposed to it, and
she loves it.
And then people, so it's like it's going to be the future. It's just going to be a rough transition, and it's going to be a lot of this where people are going to be like, "Oh, this technology's not there yet." Like a human driver is better in this scenario, and you're right. And a human driver would be better in that scenario because it's trying to navigate a world where everybody else is driving, and it's the only self-driving car around. So it needs to be all self-driving cars, so they all communicate with each other. Then it's a utopia.
Oh, I want that. I want that utopia.
Well, we're gonna live through the transition. Believe me.
Yeah.
But I think it needs to start recognizing self-driving cars, and I don't even mean other cars, because yes, that was a car parked on the side of the road with a cover, but what if it was a bush for an abandoned house that was growing out into the street? What if it was some some junk or something that's an old bed or a mattress that someone was trying to dispose of and they just chucked it on the curb? That's what I think it's failing on, is it's not recognizing humans putting crap out there.
Well, that's an interesting thing that I wonder if AI will fix, because of going back to the prove you're a human by putting where the crosswalk is or the traffic light.
Yeah.
Then and so that seems like an industry standard where the website or the software can prove that a human's and not a bot is getting in, because a bot cannot determine what fire hydrant or how many fire hydrants or whatever. Which every time I do this,
I laugh because I'm like, why he can write a whole poem or a song he can write a song for Kenny, but he can't find a fire hydrant.
Yes, and that's what I think every time. I'm like, wait a minute, I heard Daniel wrote an awesome song in AI today.
I can write a hip hop opera. I can write whatever you want in here.
And this AI can't determine where the buses are.
So how many bikes do you see in this photo? I'm like, and I can't even get it right.
The conspiracy theory, though, is that it's not actually trying to prove that you're human. You're actually assisting it learn what bikes are. That's what the conspiracy theory is.
No, that's what I was told on Reddit. I was told that every time I do a CAPTCHA that I'm contributing to a robot foot crushing a skull in the future.
Okay.
Like every time you do a CAPTCHA, you are training a Terminator to kill an infant.
Like in theory, you can
that's way cooler.
In theory, you can click whatever boxes you want and still go forward. You just would be messing up.
Did you see my hat? Did you see my hat? It's so on brand.
Oh, jeez.
By the way,
my hat says, "Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to drive Teslas." Isn't that awesome?
That's pretty good.
Sometimes I do screw it up, and I don't click all of the motorcycle, and I'm like, I screwed it up, and then it'll let me in still, and I'm like, well, wait a minute.
That's exactly.
This robot's in love with me. This robot's seducing me.
It wants me to gamble on Bovano.
I will say.
That's just one.
Mine are always sinister things too. I'm like buying something from a website it shouldn't be on.
I was pretty impressed though with the self-driving. Like I was expecting it to be, those self-driving, vehicles at an amusement park where it just violently stops when it gets to a certain point. I was like, nah, it was pretty smooth.
It was like that. When I got my
wheels,
when I got my car 3.5 or 4 years ago, whenever, it's been a minute, and I got the full self-driving, it was herky-jerky, and now it is smooth.
It's so much better.
Like, you're in it all the time. It's very smooth now.
Yeah.
And every time I've been in that car, every time you've been in that car with me, self-driving. You've never been in that car where I've driven it, ever.
I would though, I think maybe for optics purposes, because when you get in, there's literally nothing in the front two seats. And
you want a blow-up doll in there?
The wheels just steal by itself. I want one of those old it doesn't have to be like a human figure.
Johnny Cab.
But I at least want
two, Time Cop.
I want two robot arms at least pretending to steer the wheel and, just sit there and then, move its hands up and down. Just
Total Recall.
Yeah.
And then he flips his head backwards and talks to you.
Yeah,
You're like,
hi, welcome to Johnny Cab.
Yeah.
You know what I thought about doing for Halloween? Tell me if you guys don't talk me out of this.
Blackface.
No, that too. But I thought about doing buying the severed hands and putting them on my wheel. So when I'm sitting in my car and the wheel is turning, it's just hands on my wheel turning severed.
Okay, now you're getting the dad joke Tesla.
Yeah.
The problem is if you do it near Halloween, people will be like, look at that guy. You got to be doing it in April.
Okay, you're right.
Can you have Halloween lights and stuff to make any color? Can you make the interior orange or?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can actually make it themed for any holiday.
Yeah, you can make it like autumn orange if you
Okay,
want, like pumpkin
yeah.
spice. It came out today. Starbucks released pumpkin spice as of this morning, I believe. So if you're into that, you can go get one.
Are you able to put have the Ghostbusters theme when you pull up and hit the horn?
Yeah, you can have whatever you want. Like I could have a horror. I could pull up to anywhere I want and play. I could play the audio from a murder. I can play anything I want from it. I could play.
It's embarrassing, by the way. I meant to tell you that the other day.
Actually, that does bring up a good point.
I can play Two Live Crew.
I was literally just about to say, could you do the me so horny?
Yes.
Anytime.
I have an slightly inappropriate lock chime right now. It's the one from The Simpsons. It says my car is gay.
Yeah.
And it says this is an electric car, and if you drive it, you're gay. And then people laugh and they laugh. They love it. They think it's the funniest
Lots
thing.
of high fives.
I have made more old black men at Walmart laugh with that lock chime than anything. There's been no joke on Real Radio I've ever told that's funnier. Like these black guys fall down on the ground. One guy fell down and was laughing, and he looked at me and he goes, "Hey, that's all right. That's all right, man. That's all right."
It is nice when, us 2.5 whitos here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll take that. I'm that fat kid that freaked out on that show.
Oh, I was going to say.
Remember that kid?
Yeah.
The kid from 2.5 Men, he freaked out.
Did he freak out?
Yeah, and he was like, they're not paying me enough, and maybe I'm like pansexual, or like, yeah, I think he freaked out.
I was really just saying it's me being half white, but doesn't it feel good when you do something and someone from a completely different race acknowledges, gives you like a head nod or a high five or something? It's like,
I was just talking
cool.
about that with his son. His son Max he's in there because he's got the ability.
On last Friday's show, my dream, my whole life, even when I was a kid, I wished I was it was always dancing, because that's what I saw. Anytime a white kid could dance really well, then the group of black kids that were surrounding you would be like, yeah, and scream loud, and then congratulate the kid for doing the robot.
And they give you that. That's all right. They give you one of those.
And then I was like, I wish, and then I'll never be able to do that in my entire life. I'll never be able to impress a group of anybody except for the whites. Because they're easier to impress.
Are they impressed, the whites?
Yeah. I could jump something, do some jackass.
The whites are grumpy.
They're impressed by Steve-O type of nonsense.
The whites like gross stuff.
I can do that.
They're like, a turd fell out of his pants and he ate it. Yeah! Whites are gross.
I will appreciate it. Adds a little bit to it when it's a different generation as well, because I was doing karaoke, and a lot of people, I'm 41, and a lot of people don't realize that.
Holy smokes.
Well, you're 28.
So a lot of people think I look younger, and I did karaoke, and I started singing.
That's kind of old for a Roblox account.
I started singing Tevin Campbell, Can We Talk? And then a bunch of old Mima black ladies were like, oh, get it, honey. And then they were cheering me on the entire time. I'm like, oh, this feels nice.
Yeah.
This feels good.
Oh, yeah. Like a smooth R&B song.
Yeah. I used to do a little Al Green. Let's stay together. Oh, my God. I'm up there dancing with some big black mama. Oh, it's good. It's
Speaking
fun.
of white people enjoying, I could jump over them. I was in Vegas last week, and, Vegas is pretty trashy when it comes to, all the street entertainment. The fake Elmos, no different than, Times Square.
Yeah.
We should hire fake Elmo for our final BDM party.
Is it that costume is less expensive than the other ones? Why Elmo?
You know what it is? I've analyzed
Is
this.
it the popularity of Elmo in 2008 or something?
In the late 90s, early 2000s, the whole Tickle Me Elmo thing, when Elmo was blowing up, I think that was this is an easy way to make $5 off of a family, is get a little kid to recognize. And I think they just mass-produced the Elmo costume.
The best part of that costume, though, is that a well-made costume, and our buddy Alan Duckworth makes professional mascot costumes, so I think he'd back me up on this. A well-made costume is going to have a level of skeleton. It's going to have a skeleton inside of it to almost give the costume a shape.
Yeah.
The Elmo costumes that you see,
The proportions.
or the Mickey Mouse or the SpongeBob's that you see in Times Square or in Vegas are dumpy because there's no skeleton inside of them. It's just a red fur draped on a crackhead.
It's like a Spirit Halloween costume. It's garbage.
The head is disproportionately small. It's just a helmet size, as opposed to, if you look at Elmo, Elmo's head's way bigger.
Yeah, it's like Stewie size round.
I just wonder, you would make more money with like some sort of Minecraft
Well,
creature.
so
you don't
that-
think if with the kids, something the kids are into. The Elmo, they didn't even-
Steve, right?
But that's what it is now. You'll start seeing a little bit more. Like there was a time Bluey, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people with the Bluey costumes getting that. So I think it's getting there. It's just there's still an overrun of Elmo out there. But when I was out there, there was a whole circle of people, and I was like, oh, it's a street performer, doing whatever. And it was basically like a group of 3 dudes, and they were lining up a bunch of fat dads, like 5 of them, and they were going to do a thing where they run and they jump over all 5 of them.
I saw this in Times Square.
Yep.
Like, this must be the overwhelming thing
This is
that
a
they
teen-
realize they
yeah,
can make the
this
most
is a
money.
teen job.
It took 20 minutes because obviously they're there to make money. So after they line them up, they're like, all right, if we raise $100, we're going to jump them. All right. And then, they go around, they try to collect,
And
the
they
money.
collect the money from the guys, the fat dads they line up.
Well, and their families on the
Yes,
side.
yes,
yeah.
yeah.
And then they'll do something where it's like, hey, where are you from, Canada? Canada just donated $5. Yeah,
What if you
let's give
don't
it up.
pay? Do they
okay.
kick your dad out?
Well, because they want the masses to donate.
No,
so
I
think,
understand, but if they come over to me and they're like, "Hey, that's your dad," and I'm like, "I ain't paying nothing."
yeah,
know,
no, I've
like-
seen that. They move on.
Okay.
Because, but it's weird that they chose this particular stunt
Yep.
in multiple, like
Well,
Vegas and now in
Because
like
white
Times
people
Square.
love jumping.
but I look
can't
around.
argue
there's
that. You can't argue that.
It's the United Nations in Times Square. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are ethnicities that I don't even recognize.
Well, it's like music. It's like music. A lot of it is rooted in black culture, but everyone enjoys it. Jumping, that's a white thing.
yeah, but everybody enjoys it.
And what I mean by that is like jumping through the air. I'm not talking about athletic greatness.
yeah.
That is true.
Jumping over something.
Yeah.
Here's the problem, though. I never actually
Evil
got to
Knievel.
see
There, that's what I'm talking about.
I never got to see the jump because, one, I don't want to stand there the whole time and get harassed for money. So I'm like, I'm on one of those crosswalks, over the strip, and I'm seeing it. And I'm like, oh, I'll just sit here. Maybe they're going to jump soon. Like 5 minutes later, they're still not jumping. I'm like, I'm not going to wait around for this. So I never got a chance to see the actual performant jump.
So, but of all street performing stunts, it's interesting to me. It was like, why'd they land on this one? Because now that it's in different states, and I'm like, you saw it recently, I saw
Could
it
be
recently.
a franchise.
I'm like, okay,
Right?
the word spread, this particular thing, the street performance, raises the most amount of money because that's all they care about.
What do you
right?
think? They're regional? Like they started, like we had some like in New York City, and they're like, you know what? We're gonna split this up. We're gonna take a crew out to Vegas and do it.
Okay, well, no, let's just look at street performing in general. Like,
there's
a lot of drumming.
That's the thing with the jumping. No props.
That's
there's
what I
no
was gonna
overhead.
say.
The only thing is it does
Drumming,
require.
you need a couple of pieces of metal, cookie sheets,
Yeah.
some buckets.
Yeah,
you need a dog with goggles.
Vegas, though, compared to Times Square, and it could just be because of the rules there, a lot of karaoke singers. A lot of people with like a JBL, Bluetooth speaker, and then like a wireless mic, and they'll just, be singing like Uptown Funk You Up, like as people are walking by.
Oh,
like a lot of people just.
Oh, I don't like that.
They're just randomly singing. But again, you have to pay for the mic, you have to pay for, you got to charge the batteries. But the jumping one, zero overhead. You just got to split your costs among, the 3 people that are there?
Yeah, but you need a personality to wrangle those fat dads.
Yeah, well,
Not any schlub can do that.
Oh, well, you get a hype man and the jumper. I've
Yeah.
seen this when I was in Times Square. The hype man,
That's me.
he's in
You're the
charge
jumper.
of not only getting the fat dads to jump over, but also convincing the fat dads to spend money. I saw one fat dad give them $40 because he fell for it. He's like, hey, he was like, the more money,
I'll put
I'll
you in the front.
Yeah,
I'll put
yeah,
you
I'll
in the
put
front for photos.
And then the by the time they went through them all, like the last fat dad was like, I'll give you $1, and then you could tell like he was mad. He's like, nah.
It's normally a 3-person crew. You have the jumper, you have the hype man, and then you have the logistics guy because he's the one collecting the money and making sure that it's all organized.
It's
It's not
right.
just like stuffed in the pockets.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
And then backing the audience up
Yeah.
so
Yep.
they could jump, and
Yep.
he's looking out for cops.
Then also, while the audience is backing up, you have a series of young teens that are fleecing people's pockets, right? Like you got some pickpockets running around the back while you're pushing. Come on, everybody back up. This is a serious jump. I don't want anybody hurt while you're backing up. I got teens pulling their wallets out.
And
We're
it has
getting
to
the
be a
money.
crew because I don't think one person can do it because no one's going to be like, oh, just one guy jumping. Like, oh, you can't be doing all the work. You can't be the hype man and lining people up and collecting the money.
Chat room weighing in. Goes to Manute Bull in our Twitch chat room, and you can join him, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. if you'd like to watch that. He says, I saw a man with no legs in a wheelchair singing Bruno Mars outside the M&M store in Las Vegas. He wanted to shake my hand and said, quote, don't worry, you won't turn black if you shake it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Well, the no legs people, they've been...
Well, you wouldn't shake his legs. You had to shake his hands. I mean, come on. What's wrong with you?
They've been busking since the movie Kids. Whether you get on a skateboard in the subway, type of, and you're singing "I have no legs."
I've always thought it's got to
I would
feel like
actually
you're
think
going.
before then.
Nah,
the Vietnam vets coming in. And I guess
I'm
I'm thinking Lieutenant
Think
Dan.
about how fast it must feel to be on your torso in a skateboard. Like anytime they put yourself lower.
Yeah, your legs are heavy.
Yeah, but even in my car, the lower you are, you just feel like you're going faster, right?
Yeah.
So on a skateboard with just using your hands, I remember doing that on my knees.
Yeah,
It's got to feel amazing.
So, we know Tom would while Tom needs a bike to jump. I'm like, but like, what would your guys' street performance regimen be?
Trained animal tricks, dogs. I'd have dogs. I'd have a whole series of little warty puppies doing a bunch of little tricks.
So here's the thing: it's good and bad because you'll get the people that are drunk who love it and will throw money at you, but then you'll also get the Crystal Vans of the world who think that you're
Petas out there throwing blood on me.
Look, I'll kick a mom into a gully. I'll throw a beer at a mom yelling at me.
No, but because then the protesters come out, they're scaring away all your customers. They're like, "Don't watch this. You're contributing."
But if the protesters are one sort of, let's say, political ideology, I'll just weaponize some MAGA guys who are yelling at them. I'll be like, hey, these guys are yelling at me. Get them. I'll play politics against them.
The jumper, though, takes a risk in the fact that one day he's going to slip and then hit a fat dad and hurt him.
Yeah, and then you have to give that $70 back.
Yep.
No, you take off running. But then when you take off running, you leave the fat dad, they call an ambulance, and the local cops, like, we got to clean this up. And
then they don't.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
I guess that they can start because you could see them prepare. Like you said, it took a long time in Times Square too. Like the setup was ridiculous to the point where get this going already.
What'd your boys think?
They are not, unimpressed.
They don't care,
No,
yeah.
they were just like, it wasn't even that far of a jump. It wasn't like, whoa, I've never seen a human do this. Like, I saw 10 humans do this on TikTok earlier today and do it better.
Have either of you ever seen someone busking or doing a street performance where you were impressed?
Yes, and I've seen in New Orleans, like some of the drummers in New Orleans were ridiculous, and some of the musicians in New Orleans
music
were.
ones. I have seen one where it was like a giant muscle man, and he was doing one-arm push-ups, but like one-arm push-ups with no feet touching. Like he was just doing a thing and be like, he
was like suspending his whole body.
Yeah, he was suspending his whole body on one arm and doing it. And he goes, hey, who wants to donate $1 for every push-up I could do? Okay, 50 cents for every push-up. And basically he would do that and people would be like, oh my God, that's impressive. And then donate money. Like that was the only time because it was a unique angle. I'd never seen anything like that.
There's street performers in Key West that are really good. There's a cat show in Key West. And I forgot the name of the square that they all perform
in.
Is
it Hannibal? No, it's not Hannibal Square.
But those are like pros. They come and they literally...
The contortionist in the glass box.
Yeah,
he's there. That
contortionist
guy,
and stuff
there's
like
a
that.
glass box contortionist that I believe Bill Murphy from Fair Villa, like we were down there. This is probably 25 years ago. And I'm down there for Key West for the first time. And it was on a cruise. And we had gone by Fair Villa when it was still there in Key West. And they showed us, like, this guy did a show. And he had a full glass box, and he was a contortionist. It was the first time I'd ever really seen one. And this guy, who was relatively tall and skinny, he had on like a little Speedo. He cranked himself down into like the size of this tiny little glass box, and he squished himself in there, and it was unfreaking believable. Yeah. Like it was some old school Jim Rose sideshow circus freak stuff. Like, it was great.
I think Key West has good ones. New Orleans has good ones. Like
Mallory Square is what it's called.
Mallory Square. Times Square's buskers stunk.
Yeah, Vegas is terrible. Vegas is also full of like just bikini girls, but with like the feather, showgirls, whatever, just asking for photos. Like that's it's like a whole.
I'm okay with that. I'll let that stand.
you pay them just because you stand next to them.
Well, it's because it's like you want a photo, and then you pay for a photo next to some stereotypical Vegas showgirls, or you get like the Thunder from Down Under muscle men, with like taking. Or the fake sexy cops pretending to arrest you.
Oh, Black Cops. What was the Black on Blonde Cops? What was the one we liked?
Yeah.
What was that called? You used to know it.
Oh yeah.
We interviewed her. She has a whole series of pornography.
Jocelyn Jane.
Jocelyn Jane did.
Yeah.
What was the series? Her series of cop videos. Somebody in the chat room.
It was
will know
her and her brunette partner.
Yeah.
They
were
sometimes
mean.
they're porky pig.
Yeah, sometimes they get out of their squad car. They don't have any bottoms on.
Yeah. But they sell their bulletproof vests. And they're in the streets
and
of
they
Hialeah.
got guns.
A hot-ass Hialeah.
So they can't do this in Vegas because of the gambling, but I have always been fascinated by 3-card Monte. You know, the whole where it's like, oh, find the ace, find the queen, whatever, and they do all that. So it's obviously a scam because they're doing sleight of hand, but every once in a while when you pick the wrong ones, they'll show you the real one. So I'm like, okay, well, if you think you know it, if you know that it's a scam, wouldn't your intuition to be to not pick the one that you think it is? Because then now you have a 50-50 chance.
No, but then they do sleight of hand and you lose every time.
No, but you got to find the one that flips over where it is.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? You got to find the ones that flips over, and never ever, for tips out there, never ever go to one where the person before you won. Because that's
the
a
setup.
Scam. That's
you
the
know,
setup.
I always
they
thought
make it seem like you can win
because of old Tom and Jerry cartoons, Popeye, Bugs Bunny, that era of cartoons. I was born in '76. I'm 49 years of age. Because of that era of cartoons, I grew up thinking that if you played 3-card Monte and we're on a winning streak and we're like, because I always thought as a kid, I'm like, yeah, I'll just pick whatever he's. What you're saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'll just pick the opposite one. I'll get it every time. That you would get murdered. Like they
aren't gonna give you their money.
They perpetuated that theory in the cartoons that if you were on a winning streak playing 3-card Monte, that the guy in charge of 3-card Monte would eventually get tired of you and he would slit your throat. Like that's what I thought as a young boy. I was like, well, I'll never play 3-card Monte because you start getting a win streak, you'll die.
I do appreciate. I know Ross talked about it that they were having rock paper scissors contests. Every once in a while, you'll go to a casino and they just have 1-card war. And you'll just plunk down $20, flip. That's the game.
Yeah,
in the end.
Yeah, but I'm like, I'm severely at a disadvantage here.
Yeah,
because
I mean that's a slot machine, right?
Oh no, it definitely is. I just think it's hilarious that it's like. Because how did it take them so long to realize, guys, war could just be the easiest $20 that the casino could ever make?
And the casino's like, tie goes to us, so that's it. And then you're like, that flips the odds.
Yep.
Anyway, Kenny, we got to get out of here.
No.
Appreciate you, man.
Is drone racing coming back?
TBD.
TBD. You nerds ruined it, didn't you? You did something.
Yeah.
You did
It's
something.
not the computers doing
Yeah,
it.
you
We
ruined
don't need the humans.
AI's flying the drone. It doesn't even matter. It's perfect race every time.
So very quickly, they actually did like an AI circuit of it. So he's like, yeah, can you program and do AI? And a human just obliterated them. They're just like, I can go 100 miles an hour and control it. AI is just going 100 miles an hour and crashing into like random objects. Yeah.
It'll get there.
Yeah.
It'll get there.
That's why everybody's in that waiting pattern. We're just like waiting for AI to do everything. We're like, I'll just stay here and hover until we figure out what we're doing.
All right. We'll be back with more corporate time.
Awesome. It is lunchtime, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Guys, we will be back at like 1:50.
Yeah, 1:50.
Is that right?
Yeah.
We'll be back at 1:50.